before you touch your phone, before you speak to anyone, before the world tells you who you are, there is one quiet moment where your entire day is decided. Most people miss it. They wake up and surrender to fear, pressure, regret, and distraction. But if you can master this one moment, you do not just change your morning. You begin to change the person you are becoming. Before your feet touch the ground, before the world remembers your name, before your phone begins to pull your mind into 1,000 directions, there is a small doorway that opens inside you. Most people walk past it. Most people wake up and immediately surrender. They surrender to yesterday's pain, to today's pressure, to someone else's opinion, to the noise of a life they never consciously chose. They open their eyes, but they do not truly wake up. Their body rises, but their spirit stays on the floor. And this is why the first battle of the day is never with your boss, never with your family, never with money, never with traffic, never with the people who doubt you. The first battle of the day is with the voice that speaks inside you when nobody else is listening. Win that voice in the morning, and the day begins to bow. Lose that voice in the morning, and even a peaceful day can feel like war. So when you wake up, do not rush like a frightened animal. Do not jump into your life as if you are late for your own existence. Sit for one breath, just one. Let the room be quiet. Let the eyes soften. Let the shoulders drop. Place your attention on the place inside you that is still untouched by yesterday. Because every morning, whether you believe it or not, life places a clean bowl in your hands. What you pour into it first will flavor the whole day. If the first thing you pour is fear, the day will taste like fear. If the first thing you pour is anger, even success will taste bitter. If the first thing you pour is gratitude, discipline, courage, patience, and self-respect, then even difficulty becomes medicine. The world may not change in one morning, but the way you enter the world can change everything. Tell yourself, today, I return to myself before I give myself to the world. Say it slowly. Not like a slogan, not like a trick. Say it like a vow you have been waiting many years to hear. Because every day people try to take pieces of you before you have even gathered yourself. Your phone wants your attention. Your worries want your energy. Your unfinished work wants your peace. Your old mistakes want your identity. The opinions of others want your obedience. And if you do not return to yourself first, the world will divide you into pieces and then ask why you feel incomplete. This is why the morning is sacred. It is not sacred because the sun rises. It is sacred because you have a chance to rise with it. You are not here just to react. You are not here just to survive, pay bills, answer messages, chase approval, and sleep exhausted with a heart full of unfinished thoughts. You are here to become clear. You are here to become strong. You are here to become useful, calm, dangerous to your own excuses, gentle with your own wounds, and honest with your own path. But this kind of person is not created by accident. This kind of person is trained. And the training begins in the first minutes after waking, when the mind is soft, when the world has not yet entered, when the soul is still close to silence. The first powerful thing to tell yourself every morning is this: I am not my emotions, I am the one who can observe them. When you wake up heavy, do not immediately believe the heaviness. When you wake up anxious, do not immediately kneel before anxiety. When you wake up with sadness in the chest, do not say, this is who I am. Say, this is weather passing through me. The sky does not become the storm. The mountain does not become the fog. The ocean does not become the waves. In the same way, you are not every feeling that appears inside you. You are the awareness that can see the feeling without being swallowed by it. This single sentence can save the entire day. Because many people ruin their morning because of one emotion they never questioned. They wake up irritated and then they speak sharply. They wake up afraid and then they avoid what must be done. They wake up insecure and then they compare themselves to everyone. They wake up lonely and then they beg for attention from the wrong places. They wake up tired and then they call themselves lazy, broken, weak. But the trained mind does not do this. The trained mind notices, anger is here, fear is here, doubt is here. Not as an enemy, not as a master, simply as a visitor. When you observe an emotion, space is created. And inside that space, freedom begins. This is the difference between a person who is controlled by life and a person who can direct life. The uncontrolled person says, I feel it, so I must follow it. The disciplined person says, I feel it, and still I choose. This is not denial. This is power. To pretend you feel nothing is not strength. To feel everything and still stand in the center is strength. To be afraid and still act with honor is strength. To be sad and still be kind is strength. To be tired and still keep your promise is strength. To be angry and still speak with control is strength. Every morning, ask yourself, who is watching this feeling? There is the worry, and there is the one who sees the worry. There is the fear, and there is the one who sees the fear. There is the thought that says, you cannot do it. And there is the quiet witness that hears the thought and does not obey. Train yourself to identify with the witness. The witness is deeper than the mood. The witness is older than the problem. The witness is the seat of your inner authority. A man can be rich and still be a slave if he is ruled by every emotion. A woman can be admired and still be imprisoned if every opinion controls her breathing. A student can be talented and still fail if panic becomes the leader. A leader can be powerful and still fall if anger becomes the tongue. Real freedom begins when you stop worshiping your inner weather. So in the morning, before your day begins, sit and say, whatever rises in me today, I will see it clearly. I will not become every storm. I will not chase every thought. I will not bow to every fear. I am not my emotions. I am the one who can observe them. Do you understand what this does to the mind? It puts the crown back on the right head. Emotions are messengers, not kings. Thoughts are tools, not masters. Fear is information, not a prison. Anxiety is energy, not prophecy. Sadness is a call for care, not proof that life is hopeless. Anger is heat, not a command. When you begin the morning like this, you stop entering the day as a victim of your nervous system. You enter as a student of your inner world. And what you study deeply, you can master. Then tell yourself the second powerful thing. Today, I will do the difficult thing before the difficult thing does me. Many people wake up hoping the day will be easy. This is the wrong prayer. Do not ask for an easy day. Ask for a strong spine. Ask for clean focus. Ask for the courage to meet the task that has been waiting for you. Because the difficult thing you avoid does not disappear. It waits. It grows teeth. It follows you into lunch. It lies beside you at night. It becomes a whisper in the chest. It becomes irritation in the voice. It becomes heaviness in the eyes. Avoidance is not rest. Avoidance is suffering with no progress. Every morning there is one thing that, if you face it, will make the rest of the day lighter. Maybe it is exercise. Maybe it is study. Maybe it is a conversation. Maybe it is an apology. Maybe it is writing the first page. Maybe it is opening the business account and looking at the numbers. Maybe it is cleaning the room you keep ignoring. Maybe it is refusing the habit that keeps stealing your future. Maybe it is simply sitting quietly instead of running into distraction. The difficult thing is different for each person, but the feeling is the same. The body resists, The mind bargains. The ego says later. The weak voice says tomorrow. The old pattern says just for today, escape. But listen carefully. Your life changes when your morning answer changes. When the mind says later, you say now. When the body says I do not feel like it, you say I do not need to feel like it to begin. When fear says what if you fail, you say then I will learn with dignity. When laziness says you deserve comfort, you say I deserve freedom more. This is not cruelty toward yourself. This is rescue. You are rescuing your future self from the debt of today's avoidance. The difficult thing is a gate. On one side of the gate is the person you have been. On the other side is the person you keep saying you want to become. But the gate does not open for desire. It opens for action. It does not care how many motivational videos you watch. It does not care how deeply you imagine your future. It does not care how beautiful your plans look in your mind. The gate opens when your hand moves, when your feet step, when your breath stays steady while the mind complains. This is how discipline is born. Not from excitement, from a repeated choice in the presence of resistance. In the morning, do not negotiate with the first enemy. The first enemy is not the task. The first enemy is the delay before the task. Once you begin, the demon becomes smaller. Before you begin, the demon stands tall. This is why you must attack the beginning. Put on the shoes, open the book, write the first sentence, make the first call, drink the water, step outside, sit on the mat, touch the work with your hands. The body learns through contact, not imagination. A task you touch becomes less frightening than a task you worship from a distance. Tell yourself, today, I will do the difficult thing before the difficult thing does me. Say it until your posture changes. Say it until your excuses feel embarrassed. Say it until you understand that comfort is not always kindness. Sometimes comfort is the soft bed where your potential slowly dies. Sometimes the thing that feels harsh in the morning becomes the reason you respect yourself at night. A person who has self-respect does not always have an easy life, but they have a clean relationship with themselves. They know I did not abandon myself today. Most people do not lack dreams. They lack morning obedience to their dreams. They lack the small sacred violence of beginning when the mind wants to hide. They say, one day I will be healthier. But the body asks, what did you do this morning? They say, one day I will be successful. But the work asks, what did you touch this morning? They say, one day I will be peaceful. But the mind asks, what did you practice this morning? Life does not listen to your fantasies. Life listens to your repeated behavior. Then tell yourself the third powerful thing. I will protect my attention like it is my life, because it is. In the modern world, attention is the battlefield. Not land, not gold, not even time. Attention. Wherever your attention goes, your life slowly follows. If your attention is scattered, your life becomes scattered. If your attention is poisoned, your inner world becomes poisoned. If your attention is trained, your life becomes sharp. You may say, I do not have enough energy. But often the truth is, your energy is bleeding through 1,000 open windows. Many people wake up and hand their mind to a screen before they have given it to themselves. They let strangers choose their first emotion. They let headlines choose their first fear. They let messages choose their first obligation. They let images choose their first insecurity. They let other people's lives choose their first comparison. And then they wonder why their own life feels far away. The phone is not evil. The world is not evil. But an unguarded mind becomes public property. In the morning, tell yourself, my attention is sacred. I will not spend it cheaply. Imagine you wake up with a bowl of clean water. Every notification is a hand reaching for that bowl. Every useless argument is dust falling into it. Every comparison is a drop of poison. Every mindless scroll is a small crack at the bottom. By midday, people wonder why they feel empty, but they do not see how many times they gave themselves away. Protect the bowl. For the first part of the morning, do not ask, what is the world saying? Ask, what is my life asking from me? The world will always be loud. Your purpose often whispers. If you listen only to what is loud, you will miss what is important. Sit quietly enough to hear the whisper. What matters today? What must be done? Who must I become in this hour? What habit must I not feed? What relationship must I honor? What task deserves my clean mind? These questions pull your attention back from the marketplace of distraction and place it on the altar of intention. A distracted person can be easily controlled. Advertisers control them. Anger controls them. Lust controls them. Envy controls them. Fear controls them. Trends control them. But a person who can hold attention becomes difficult to manipulate. They are not easily pulled into every fight. They are not hypnotized by every shiny object. They are not seduced by every shortcut. They look at the world and choose. This is rare. This is power. Do one thing in the morning with full attention, not 5 things. 1, drink tea and only drink tea. Walk and only walk. Breathe and only breathe. Stretch and only stretch. Pray and only pray. Read 1 page and only read 1 page. When the mind runs, bring it back. When it runs again, bring it back again. This is training. Every return is a repetition. Every repetition strengthens the muscle of presence. People think focus is something you have. No, focus is something you build by returning again and again. Tell yourself, today, I will not let distraction steal my depth. Depth is where your best life waits. Shallow attention creates shallow work, shallow love, shallow prayer, shallow rest, shallow happiness. Depth creates mastery. Depth creates intimacy. Depth creates peace. Depth creates art. Depth creates meaningful success. When you protect your attention, you are not being strict for no reason. You are protecting the doorway through which your destiny enters. Then tell yourself the 4th powerful thing. I will meet people today without losing myself. This is powerful because much of your suffering does not come from the events of life, but from the way you give your center away to other people. Someone looks at you coldly and you lose your peace. Someone does not reply and you lose your worth. Someone criticizes you and you lose your confidence. Someone praises you and you lose your humility. Someone doubts you and you lose your direction. Someone leaves and you lose your identity. Is this freedom? No. This is living with your roots in other people's hands. Every morning, remind yourself, I can be kind without becoming weak. I can listen without absorbing poison. I can love without begging. I can serve without disappearing. I can be misunderstood without collapsing. I can be corrected without being destroyed. I can be praised without becoming drunk. I can be rejected without rejecting myself. This is emotional maturity. This is inner balance. This is the kind of strength that does not need to shout. People will arrive with their own storms. Do not become every storm that enters the room. Some people are angry because they are wounded. Some people are arrogant because they are afraid. Some people are cold because they were never taught warmth. Some people attack because they feel small. If you react unconsciously to every wounded person, you will spend your whole life bleeding for wounds that are not yours. Compassion does not mean letting others throw their darkness into your chest. Compassion means seeing clearly and responding wisely. Tell yourself, today I will not make another person's mood my master. This does not mean you become careless. It means you become rooted. A tree does not hate the wind, but it does not become the wind. A mountain does not insult the clouds, but it does not follow them. In the same way, meet people with steadiness, speak with respect, listen with attention, but do not hand them the steering wheel of your inner life. There will be moments when someone tests you. Maybe they speak sharply. Maybe they ignore your effort. Maybe they doubt your intention. Maybe they misunderstand your silence. In that moment, the old self may want to react. The old self wants to prove, defend, attack, explain, chase, punish, withdraw. But the morning vow returns. I will meet people without losing myself. Take one breath before response. One breath can save a relationship. One breath can protect your dignity. One breath can stop a chain of regret that would have lasted for years. Do not confuse reaction with strength. The person who can be provoked easily is not powerful. They are available. Anyone can press the button. Anyone can pull the string. Real strength is when the button is touched and nothing automatic happens. You choose. You may speak. You may walk away. You may set a boundary. You may forgive. You may say no. You may say, this is not acceptable. But it comes from clarity, not explosion. It comes from the center, not the wound. In the morning, see the people you will meet as part of your training. The difficult customer, the impatient parent, the silent partner, the jealous colleague, the demanding child, the stranger in traffic, the friend who does not understand, the person who brings bad energy into the room. Each one is a bell. When they ring, they reveal your practice. They show you where you are still reactive, where you are still hungry for approval, where you still mistake being liked for being safe. Do not hate the bell. Listen to it. Learn from it. But do not become it. Then tell yourself the fifth powerful thing. Today, I will move as if my life has meaning, because it does. This is not arrogance. This is remembrance. Many people wake up as if they are accidental. They move through the day as if nothing matters. They waste words. They waste food. They waste time. They waste love. They waste breath. They wait for some grand sign from heaven before they begin to live with dignity. But the sign is already here. You woke up. Your heart is beating. Your lungs are accepting air. The day has opened its door. What more permission do you need? Meaning is not always found. Sometimes it is given through the way you do ordinary things. You can wash a cup like a sleeping person, or you can wash it like a person who is grateful to have hands. You can answer a message like a machine, or you can answer like a person who knows words can heal or harm. You can walk to work like a prisoner, or you can walk like a warrior entering training. You can eat without awareness, or you can eat with respect for every invisible hand that brought food to your plate. Meaning enters when attention and gratitude touch the ordinary. Tell yourself, I will not wait for life to become perfect before I behave like my life is precious. This is important because the mind is always postponing reverence. When I have more money, I will be peaceful. When they respect me, I will stand tall. When my body changes, I will love myself. When my situation improves, I will be grateful. But a person who waits for perfect conditions to become noble may wait forever. Nobility is practiced in imperfect conditions. Peace is practiced in noise. Discipline is practiced in resistance. Faith is practiced in uncertainty. Love is practiced when the heart has reasons to close. When you say, my life has meaning, you are not saying every moment feels beautiful. Some mornings are hard. Some days begin with pain. Some rooms are silent because someone left. Some bodies wake up tired. Some minds wake up with old memories. Some people wake up already carrying the weight of family, debt, illness, grief, responsibility, loneliness, regret. Do not insult this pain with fake positivity. Look at it with respect. Then say, even here, I will not abandon my life. This is a sacred sentence. Even here, even with this fear, even with this loss, even with this uncertainty, even with this tired body, even with this imperfect beginning, I will not abandon my life. The world teaches you to measure meaning by applause, but the deepest meaning often has no audience. A father waking early to provide for his family, a mother quietly holding the home together, a student studying while friends sleep, a person healing from addiction one honest morning at a time, a worker choosing integrity when nobody would know, a young person refusing to become bitter after betrayal, an old person still offering kindness after many losses. These things may not trend, but they are not small. The universe is built from invisible discipline. Every morning, tell yourself, today I will be faithful to the small things, because the small things are not small.